TP this year.
Tired of living day to day like every day is alright. Every night just one thing on my mind. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. You say, oh, you got that all shit. Hell no, next time that's mine. As long as I stay hustling, I'm gon' shine. I'm just waiting on that moment.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fisherman Huddle. I'm here, your boy, the Nature Boy, and on this show we talk about hot and late, the latest news of bass fishing. I give you tips and tricks, and also helpful guidelines of becoming a good fisherman. And so we're going to talk bass fishing because this is what Fisherman Huddle is all about. And so we're going to dive right in and get things popping. You know, if you're not familiar with the fishing world, you know, every sport has that big thing, that go-to thing they talk about all the time. And the hottest thing that's been going around for a while now, for a couple of years, is mystery tackle box. Mystery tackle box. You can check that out. What Mystery Tackle Box is all about is Carl's Bait and Tackle. They actually do a special for fishermen every single month, and they have and they put together different baits and different tackles. You know, if you're a bass fisherman or you're a different type of fisherman, you know, if you fish for I forget the name of it. Trout, yeah, trout. You fish for trout. They have certain lures for trout fishing. And so they put a bunch of baits together that would fit that scenario type of fishing. And also they do it every single month. So, you know, you're gonna check them out if you want to experience different and new baits. Check out, you know, Mystery Tackle Box, hit them up. And also, they also have, if you're a new person subscribing to Mystery Tackle Box, sometimes they have promo codes where you will pay only $5. I've shopped for this stuff myself personally, and it comes out about $30, man. With a promo code, you can drop the price down to about $5. And also, if you're familiar with the Guggen Squad, they're a group of fishermen who started, you know, way back before, you know, YouTube fishing, you know, stuff got big. And they form a group called the Guggen Squad. Each of those guys have their own channel, and plus, you know, they have a group channel. They always share promo codes to give you guys discounts. A lot of they work with Carl's Bait and Tackle, and they can hook you up with your first box, you know, for like $5 or so. John B, he does it all the time. You know, he's cool with doing that. And so check out Mystery Tackle Box. It's a cool thing. It's fun. You can hang out with your friends and have contests. You all can have a box and say, hey, you know, I'm going to run through a Mystery Tackle Box at X amount of time, like 5 hours. Say you guys go out to a pond, you know, and you cut loose for like 5 hours, man. See who can get through a certain amount of baits in a certain amount of time. So that is Mystery Tackle Box. Check it out at mysterytacklebox.com and get it popping. On to the next. If you're looking for a bait to settle with, and you're a new fisherman and you don't really know, you know, what to go for, you know, use to ask people. You know, if I'm fishing a new place, or I go to like Bass Pro Shops or Dick's Sporting, because I ask, okay, what is a good bait? I've used KVD Perfect Plastic, you know, for months, man. I mean, I tear it up with the clear plastic swimmers. They're very, very, very good, man. I mean, their action is great, and they look so realistic. You can pick them up at Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and even at Walmart. I mean, I like the realism in it, in your baits, in the bait, and plus the flappy tail movement. I mean, it looks like a little bait fish. I mean, I throw it on a Colorado blade. That's what I throw mine on. I like doing a Colorado blade or a blade bait. You know, I throw it on an underspin. My bad. I throw it on underspin. I use the KVD Colorado blade. I've been doing very, very well with the Colorado blades lately. I mean, I caught a record-breaking spotted bass, like 3 pounds. Huge, huge spots. So I've been tearing it up on the blade baits around this time of the year. You know, it's pretty cool. You can throw blade baits pretty much anywhere. And if you're looking for a good product, use a good lure, you know, check out KVD Colorado blades and get it popping. Moving right along. Last time I talked about with the beginners, you know, I covered bank fishing 101. I also covered the type of rod, type of line, and also the type of bait, you know, you want to start off with, and that would be a trick worm. You know, these little guys, these are perfect for new beginners to learn how to do that. I talked about Texas rigging, and also I gave sites you can go to. And speaking of sites, there are a couple guys who I grew up watching, and when I was a beginner fisherman, starting out in the fishing world, I knew nothing about fishing. I fished a little bit, but these guys, specifically Gene Jensen Fluke Master, man, you know, I watched his channel for like 3 months straight, just watching his teaching, his training, and it helped me so much to the point to where, you know, I watched some boating stuff on him, and so I took what he taught me after the boating. I caught my first big fish, it was a 5-pounder, gigantic fish, and that's due to the teaching and training with Gene Jensen Fluke Master. And also, if you're looking for adventure, you're looking for a great time, you can kick it with your friends and watch the fishing show, check out John B. He's hot, he's fresh, he's hip, he's new. He has a great channel. He travels all over the world. He's been to Sudan, you know, the jungle, I mean, all over the place. So check him out. And he's also part of the Google Squad. Check out John B. And also, if you're looking for more informal teaching, just like Gene Jensen Fluke Master, if you're a new fisherman, you don't know nothing about fat bass fishing, and you want to know the ins and outs of bass fishing, check out my boy Tyler's Real Fishing, Tyler's Real Fish, TRF. He's a young kid, he's doing his thing, he's done, you know, pro tournaments in college, and he does very, very, very in-depth teaching. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and I recommend those 3 guys. Check them out and learn what it is to be a bass fisherman, what it takes. But this whole series is about groundwork. You know, if you're a new fisherman, you never picked up a rod, man, it's fun, it's simple, it's easy. Once you get the techniques down, and the most important part of bass fishing is mastering your rod. You know, it's built to be sensitive. It's like an antenna. You know, if you see spiders or certain bugs that go by vibration, it's all about the vibration, feeling your rod and learning your rod. And the most important thing I learned in bass fishing that has caught me tremendous amounts of fish is moving your baits. You know, you pick up a worm or, you know, a swim bait, you know, it's how you move it, it's the movement. And like I said, you know, there are people like Gene Jensen Fluke Master, he's good at that, at teaching movement. So check out his videos on how to use rage swims. Rage swims is good, very popular bait to use as a bass fisherman. You know, we throw these a lot, man. They cover, if you throw it with a screw in, you can go to Bass Pro Shops, they can tell you more about it, but it's like a drill with a open knot hook, and you basically drill in on the front of the bait, and then you tuck it in. It's a weighted system, but it works well to weeds, grass, rocks. I mean, you can throw this thing anywhere, you know, because it's weighted, it drops down a lot more. And so that's a great thing to use. Last time we covered how to use a Texas rig. Texas rig is very, very key. And also a great bait, I suggest, you know, as a new beginner, if you want to get familiar with the rod and understand vibration, how far to drop, and just filling at the bottom, suggest, you know, a great, you know, blade bait, a Colorado blade. I suggest going with a KVD, you know, blade bait. They're very good. You know, I know I don't know too much about other, you know, blade baits, but I've used Colorado blade very, very frequently. Very, very good blade, and that's a trailer on the back of that fish. Works well, and you know, these lures helps you to understand, you know, a fish's strike because it's moving, and how to set the hook, and how to maneuver these certain baits because they're moving baits, and they're very, very familiar. These work very, very well. You know, lipless crankbaits, you know, work very well with get familiar with your surroundings. You know, hitting rocks, how to determine, you know, if you're in the grass or if you're getting hit by a fish. All those things play a role in being a solid all-around fisherman. Because when you're throwing a lipless crankbait, I mean, when you're throwing a lipless crankbait, you throw it out, and majority of people, they reel it in. You can reel it in. What's very effective for me that I've seen is, you know, reeling and I'll jerk it. I jerk it twice. I reel it in, I jerk it twice. But the main thing for a lipless crankbait, when you're throwing it, is drop it down and just flutter it up. Just kind of jerks, light jerks like a dime bait fish. That's what that is used for. So those are kind of the basic baits starting off with, especially the worm, using that, and using lipless crankbait, Colorado blade, because it's a moving bait, and you can learn a lot about the water. You can learn about the strike on the fish, and you can learn your dropping rate. You know, how long it takes to get to the bottom before you start moving it up and down, hitting rocks and all types of things like that. And then, you know, once you kind of get the hang of it and you practice it, you know, lipless crankbait, then you move to other baits. But throwing the worm, that's very, very basic lure to use. Colorado blades and lipless crankbaits. Those are baits where you can understand motion, vibration, understand the rod better. Lipless crankbait is very sensitive to a rod, and I mean, you can feel everything. I mean, the movement, the hitting the rocks, it helps you see underwater a lot better with lipless crankbait because it's heavy, it flutters. It has to flutter when you move it. You can feel if it hit a rock or jammed up. And then alright, so those things are very, very important. Learning the lipless crankbait and also the Colorado blade. But I want to dive into a very, very simple bait which a lot of fishermen use. It's very, very basic bait, and it's good to learn as you're bass fishing. I think I forgot. And that is very, very simple. Learning how to throw and maneuver swim baits. Very, very key, very, very basic. Different types of ways you can use it. Preferably You know, throwing it weighted is a very, very good way to use a swim bait. This is your swim bait. You can get it, you know, there's different types. A very familiar way of using it is a braid swim. And the thing you want to do is match the hatches. You know, if you have smaller fish that are a certain color, go for that certain color. It's a very, very simple way of connecting with these fish and giving these fish what they want and mimicking the bait fish that they're eating. The way to use a swim bait, you know, is this a weighted hook. This is not a drill-in. You can buy the drill at Bass Pro Shop, Dick's Sporting Goods. But a drill-in piece, basically, you drill it in, and this doesn't have one, but you stick it through the back, and you have your swim bait. It looks just like that. And also, a lot of times, the hooks in these new packs come out. We have to bend it down to fit right into that bait. But with using a swimmer weighted, I've used this a lot. I mean, I've caught a lot of fish using the technique in a bait and a lure like this. Weighted, it's very, very simple with a fish on it. And I've caught a lot of bass, 6, 7, 8 pounders on it, and it's a very, very good bait. It goes through the grass, rocks, weeds. You can throw this bait anywhere. And if you're new beginner, you're saying, you know, how do I use this? How we bass fishermen use it is throw it out. We do what we call a fast retrieve. Is just reel it in fast, not like super fast where we just like on top of water, but just like you see my hand, you know, just like a, you know, fast retrieve, you know, or a slower retrieve. It all depends on the fish and how the bait fish are moving. Or if the fish just wants to be lazy, man, they want it really slow, something that doesn't take a lot of time, because these are predators we're talking about. You know, these fish are predators, and so they might want an easy meal. They might be energetic one day. They might want it fast. And also the technique that has helped me, that has caught me a whole lot of fish, it came over time of just trial and error, trying all types of things. But what I do is throw my swim bait out, you know, and let it drop to the bottom. And I'll give it 3 twitches, really light twitches. And you gotta make sure it looks realistic. You know, you give it 3 light twitches, like a. I'll let it sit for like 2 seconds. And I give it another 2. Let it sit. Another 3. And I'll do that cycle 3, 2, like 3 times. Then I'll reel it in like I say a medium reel. And I'll twitch it and kind of pull the bait a little bit out. And kind of pull the bait a little, let it drop for like a second. And then make sure you hit the bottom. Another 2. Let it drop. And I keep reeling. And that way has caught me fish everywhere I went. Very, very effective way of catching fish. And so we're out of time for today, but there are sites you can go to. You check out, like I said, my boy, I refer to him a lot because he taught me a lot about bass fishing. You can check out Genius and Fluke Master, how to use, you know, weighted fish. You know, it's a very basic way of fishing, and very simple way of fishing. And those techniques I showed you, especially I call it the 3-2 pop. The 3-2 pop works very well. I'll use it everywhere, man. I've caught fish back to back, man. From every pond, lakes, reservoirs, rocks, grass. The 3-2 pop, it works all the time, man. So until next time. Like I said, thank you for joining Fisherman Huddle, but until next time, I'll see you guys later. And also, if this has been helpful for you, hit that subscription bell at the bottom and subscribe to get new and fresh videos. Until next time, I'm over and out. And like I say all the time, remember, keep it popping.